Now, the purpose of this video is for you, and for pretty much for everyone, to be able to connect their mind with their soul, and do so to cleanse the spirit, and then be led by the spirit. All right. Right now we're gonna go over 3, the number 3. Everything comes in 3s. People say death comes in 3s. We know the Trinity discusses 3. So 3 is a very, very important number. We also know that there's 3 components to the human experience. There's the human body, right? There's the spirit, right? And then there's the soul. Now the soul is its own entity. The spirit is its own entity, and the body is indeed its own entity, right? Now, when that is the case, this happens, okay? They become one. And not only do they become one, they work separately and together on the same tasks, right? Now, while the body, the spirit, and the soul are working on the same task, what are they as separate entities, right? Now, my theory is that the body is, the body is the body, right? It's a 3-dimensional form. The soul is the mind, right? And the spirit is the Holy Ghost, can't be touched, untouched, unharmed. Now, to give you a little bit more detail about the 3 components to the human experience, right? Now, the body is 3-dimensional. The soul is 3-dimensional and 4-dimensional, right? And the spirit is 5th-dimensional and above. So the body, the body is in the 3D, it's 3-dimensional, right? The soul is in the 3rd dimension, and it's also in the 4th dimension, because your mind, although we can't see it, it's inside of our head, it's 3-dimensional, but it's also 4th dimensional, because it takes in tangible ideas, right? And they turn them into non-tangible thoughts, right? And when it's thoughts, that's thinking, that's time, that's processing, that's all 4th dimensional, right? And now the 5th dimension, that is spirit. Spirit has no shape or form, right? And not only that, spirit only exists in the present. There is no past or future. So time isn't a factor. Okay, so we'll go over that one more time, right? The body is inside of the 3rd dimension. The soul, right, which is your mind, is in the 3rd dimension, but it's also in the 4th dimension, because it'll take 3-dimensional tangible things and use, through your sight, you'll create non-tangible thoughts, which is 4th dimensional. Thinking is 4th dimensional because it takes place during time, right? And it is also not tangible, but it's a process. Thinking is a matter of a process, so it is in the 4th dimension. And the spirit is in the 5th dimension or higher, because it is no shape or form, okay? So it's not in the 3rd dimension, and it's not in the 4th dimension, because it doesn't deal with the future or the past. The spirit only deals with the present. Let's keep going. Now, this is how we will connect the body and the spirit, by using the mind, right? And that's what we do, right? Okay, now to be able to use your mind, to be able to use, your mind, also known as the soul, to use your soul to connect your body and your spirit, you have to know how they are connected, right, on both ends, right? Okay, so now your soul is a tool. It's a great tool, right? Now your soul, right, your mind, you create your soul through the things that we take in the three-dimensional world, right? So the music that you like, the religion that you like, the whatever that you like, right? You take these tangible things that you see and you create non-tangible thoughts, right? And with these non-tangible thoughts, you decorate and you create your mind, right? You create your mind. Right? Now, the spirit only understands positives and negatives. The spirit doesn't go good and bad. It goes positive and negative, because that would mean like positive would mean like be in the light, and negative would technically be like in the dark. But I don't want to get too attached to those types of words, but just positive and negative, not necessarily good or bad, right? Because now in your soul, you're going to take in information that's going to make you happy. It's going to make you sad. It's going to get you excited. It might make you reflect. You're going to get opinions. You're going to give your opinion, right? Now, all these things might hit us and make us feel great, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's positive, right? So yeah, negative and positive and negative, right? So when our spirit goes through our soul, right? It's only dealing with the present. The spirit isn't dealing with the past or the future. So whatever your current state is, that's what your spirit is dealing with, right? So with the information that you take in, it regards it as positive or negative. And with that information, it opens the doors to the types of deities that your spirit is calling after, right? So if you're filling up your spirit with things that are positive, right? Whether good or bad is subjective, but whether if you're filling it up with positivity, right, then your spirit will call out on positive angels, on positive guides and things like that, because that's the nature of what your soul, that's what you're taking in, that's what you're putting out, right? And the opposite if you're taking in things that your spirit is going to deem as being negative, right? So that is the connection between the spirit and the soul / the mind and how they work, right? Now the mind and the body, they work in the same exact way, because as if within, so without, right? So what you take into your body is going to reflect what you put into your body is going to reflect the outer, right? So that's pretty much what the spirit is dealing with. What you put into your mind, what you put in your soul, that's what your spirit is going to reflect to you, right? So that's how they connect. Okay, now here's a little question, all right? Now, according to what we went over, right? How does the spirit deal with childhood trauma? And how does the body deal with childhood trauma? In conclusion, with this information I just gave you in this video, you'll be able to cleanse your spirit, understanding the body, using the mind, and be led by it. Enjoy, like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace, y'all.